What's going on, guys? My name is DJ Miles, and wait a minute. This isn't a JoJo Bizarre Adventure review? Nani! I don't know anything about Dr. Stone. I haven't read the manga. I don't know anything about it, but this has been one of the most hyped up animes coming into 2019 here as we roll out July with Anime Month. But a lot of these trailers have hyped it up. A lot of people have hyped it up. They are considered Dr. Stone alongside with My Hero Academia and some third anime I can't think of for the life of me. I'm so sorry, to be considered the big three. And how does Dr. Stone kind of compare to the other shonen? Well, it's a little bit different here, right? This isn't kind of like a My Hero or a One Piece or Naruto type of anime where, we're going to see this big battle and this big spectacle. I mean, there could be, but I'm not too sure. And it's pretty much a show about, a couple characters rebuilding civilization from the ground up from a mysterious light that has just pretty much turned everyone into stone. And that's pretty much the beginning of this story here. And let's kind of talk about the characters. So we have Senku, who's our main protagonist. We have Taiju, who is his best friend slash idiot of the show, but he has a big heart, so you really care for him. And then we have Yuzohida, who is going to pretty much be Taiju's love interest, or Taiju would love to date her eventually at some point in the show. So we'll kind of see how that plays out. Right away, Senku is definitely like this cocky guy, but he's he's a man of science. He's a man of facts. And I love just throughout the episode of just knowing this kind of bravado he gives and just kind of this cool persona he gives. But again, he's not a fighter, and we find out even throughout this episode that, hey, listen, he relies on Taiju to pretty much do all the muscle and heavy lifting in the episode. And I really like their relationship here. Although their relationship pretty much is, I'm the smart guy and you're the dumb guy, it's not treated like a pinky in the brain type of relationship. It's treated more of a, yeah, I might be the smart guy and you might just be the big brute. But I definitely care about you, and I definitely wish the best for you, and we see that right away. Although he tries to trick Taiju into drinking, what was it, I think, like gasoline, right, by giving him this magical love potion. He's out, so it's a bit slow. But once again, the pilot for any anime, or especially one that just hugely anticipated as much as Dr. Stone, there's a lot that they have to do. So although there isn't a lot of stuff that happened. Again, you got to keep in mind, we have to know the world. We have to know the universe. We have to know our characters. Are our characters likable right away, or are they not likable? What's the mystery behind this world and all that? So there's a lot that they have to do with this pilot, but we see Taiju pretty much going in to confess his love to Yuzihira. Next thing we know, we just see this big light. Everyone turns into stone, and we kind of get this creepy moment here where people that are turned into stone, they can't move, but their conscious is still working. And man, can you imagine just being frozen in time and being aware of what's happening? I mean, that sounds like some creepy Black Mirror shit that I don't even want to think about. But yeah, so next thing we know that Taiju, he's frozen, but don't worry, because the power of love, he's gonna wake up in a matter of days. Or maybe minutes, or maybe years, or decades, or millennia. Let's fast forward to 3,700 years later. So Taiju ends up waking up and then sees the statue or stone of Yuzihira here, and says, hey, the only reason that I have awoken is because you gave me the willpower to move on. Of course, we see a little inscripted note that says, hey, meet me down the river, you big oaf. And of course it's Senku, and he ends up telling us that it's precisely October 5th 5738, and that he's been up 6 months before Taiju, just kind of working and just kind of figuring out the pieces to this puzzle here of what happened and how did everything become wiped out. And I just like the obvious things that you just don't think about, right? Listen, when you're primitive, or you're living those caveman stone ages, most of your days here is just a survival. That the bulk of my day is just pretty much scavenging for food. We do get this great segment here where him and Taiju ends up trying to find mushrooms, or Taiju ends up finding the mushrooms, I believe. And then we get this great little, moment here where they keep on breaking down the mushrooms, and of course, they're like, listen, poisonous, and dude, come on, how do you not know that's not poisonous? Have you ever played Mario? I thought that was absolutely great. I had a good laugh when I saw that. And come on, let's be real here. If you saw a red mushroom, or if you saw a green mushroom, or if you saw a purple mushroom, listen, Mario should have taught each and every one of you that shit is poisonous, so don't have it. Taiju ends up finding some grapes, and then he goes into a cave where he sees this mysterious liquid that we kind of see a lot sprinkled throughout this episode. That, okay, I think this liquid is probably the key to kind of reawakening civilization. And Senku ends up telling us here that liquid, that miracle liquid, is nitric acid, and if he just so happened to have some sort of alcohol, he can probably, mix that nitric acid with the alcohol. So then we get this great montage segment here of Senku and Taiju just doing stuff with grapes. And listen, now I learned how to make alcohol here, right? So you crush up the grapes, you put it in a container, you seal it. I'm not sure if there's another logical step that you have to do to make alcohol, but we see all of that play out. Get this great moment here where Senku and Taiju talk about, hey, well, we made alcohol, we might as well drink it, right? Wouldn't you be curious to try, your own handmade alcohol? And although Senku really appreciates it, Taiju just thinks it's completely disgusting. And it looks like as they're trying to kind of just perfect the alcohol itself, and then, we see months and months pass by, we get more moments with Senku and who he is as a protagonist and who he is as our main character, right? He's a man of science. He's a man of logic. He's a man of facts. I like how Taiju pretty much kind of speaks, for himself and just kind of like the audience, where it's like, well, I guess science can't really explain everything, right? And I like how Senku's like, listen, let's get that cliche that science doesn't know all the answers. We will know the answers. We just have to hypothesize and figure it out and experiment again and again. And I just like that character of knowing who he is. I just love seeing how excited Senku is about just learning about science. And listen, when the episode plays out and how Senku just kind of breaks down science just on a, simple terminology here for all of us, I think it's really great, and it just kind of makes me feel smart. Although I may feel dumb, Senku does a great job of making me feel smart, or knowing, oh, this does make sense, and I can come up to that conclusion because of whatever he's hypothesizing here. And with the montage that's just passing, we see that, he finally ends up putting the nitric acid with the alcohol together, grabs the bird, that's a stone, drops the liquid, and then voila, that's how the episode ends. And that was the first episode of Dr. Stone, titled Stone World. I'm kind of curious to know what the reaction is for everyone as we kind of deep dive and do more reviews, or as I do more reviews covering this, because I'm actually really excited about this. I love JoJo, but JoJo is kind of nearing its end, and I definitely think Dr. Stone is going to be a great placeholder as we kind of just deep dive into this. And I'm super excited to deep dive into this anime with all of you guys, because I don't know what to expect. And it's not your typical shonen here, where it's going to be crazy, Dragon Ball Z battles, or, Naruto battles, or, One Piece epics. It's going to be a show about how a group of kids rebuild civilization from the ground up. And I've heard apparently what they do with all that stuff, it's just really great and fascinating stuff. And they leave a lot of things open. So that, once again, gets me super excited. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you want to see more content on Dr. Stone and JoJo Bizarre Adventure, go ahead and hit that like button down below. Go ahead and subscribe for my channel for more anime content. And until next time, guys, take care.